What's up everyone, it's me, SpeedSuperSonic, bringing you guys another video. In this video today, we are back again talking more about this gosh darn Sonic filming scenario going on with Sonic Movie 3 and the Knuckles TV show and all these set photos and dates and locations. I'm not sure if it's called the hot topic of the Sonic community, but in my personal opinion, it's one of the most interesting ones. Because the Sonic Movie 3 and the Knuckles TV show are without a doubt like two of the biggest upcoming Sonic projects to come out of the franchise. I know we're all excited for Superstars and stuff like that, but let's be real. I'm looking forward to these two things a lot. Come on, you can't lie to me. And the biggest topic of conversation has been surrounding a lot of these set photos and whether this movie is going to be able to film on time or not. Recently, all of these different photos have been leaking out from the set, which we have since learned to actually be the Knuckles TV show. Nothing necessarily for Sonic Movie 3, especially nothing filming for Sonic Movie 3 that has not begun yet. Some of those can be prep work, but nothing has rolled on Sonic Movie 3 just yet. And with the knowledge that we learned a few weeks ago that Sonic Movie 3 was slated to start filming in late August, we were like, alright, this is great. Can't wait this thing to start going. Hopefully we can meet a release date of December of 2024. But then something not entirely unexpected happened, but something that was a possibility to happen happened, and that was the actor's strike. We've been talking about this for a while now when it comes to these Sonic Movie 3 Knuckles videos. The actor's strike really has impacted all of Hollywood right now, in addition to the writer's strike, but because the Sonic Movie 3 script was finished before the writer's strike happened, that was never really a worry. But with the actors, however, you need actors to film a movie. So with Sonic the Hedgehog, it was this topic of conversation of are they going to be able to do the late August that was originally expected for the film? And the answer is no, but things have changed. Because I'm sure, as maybe some of you guys have seen, there have been reports going around that Sonic Movie 3, in only a matter of a few weeks, will begin filming. But, you know, there's a caveat to it. Sonic Movie 3 will start filming, but without any actors. Now, here's the deal. It's never really went through my head of the idea of, hey, Sonic the Hedgehog, these movies star CGI characters that don't have actors physically on the set. You can actually film a lot of the movie without any SAG actors, so James Mars and Tika Sumpter, Jim Carrey, etc. You can and will get those scenes at a later date, but the scenes that just include Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, you don't need the actors there for that. Now, this will not be happening in late August, but it's essentially no difference. Filming will start in September of this year, so expect set photos, leaks, stuff like that during that time period. They're going to be starting to film in London like was originally expected, so if any of you UK blokes are out there, keep an eye open for me. There is actually an entire report here from Screen Daily that reads, UK crews in crisis as SAG-AFTRA strike thwarts production. Is the UK industry really our own? And there's a bunch of stuff in here that isn't really relevant to us right now, but there is this section right here that does highlight Sonic. It says, there are some big projects still shooting in the UK. Paddington in Peru is ongoing without US actor Rachel Zegler. Sources say Paramount's Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is gearing up to shoot scenes not involving actors from September, and Netflix has some series in production, but there isn't enough to go around. That is really it. The rest of this article, if you guys are actually interested and want to go through the rest of this, there's a bunch of stuff in here, but that's really the only thing in relation to Sonic the Hedgehog 3. This is pretty significant news. This is really big news, and honestly, I do feel like the whole, like, I would prefer for this production to go maybe a little smoother as intended, you know, like with actors there who are going to be part of the movie. I don't want to put too much negative energy out into the universe, but my biggest hope is that this strike could eventually end with a solid resolution and people get what they deserve. But with all of that being said, at the end of the day, I think this should be looked at as good news for Sonic Movie 3, and specifically meeting its release date and us getting this movie on time. The main characters of these movies are cartoon animal characters. Sonic Movie 2 didn't even involve a lot of the cross, I was gonna say breeding, and that was the worst term I could use. Why did I even say that? That went through my head. Sonic Movie 2 had them divided, basically. A majority of that movie was Sonic, Tails, Knuckles doing their thing, and then all the humans kind of doing their own thing, which really hurt that film in some ways, because, like, if we're being real, we really didn't care about that subplot. And also, after all that backlash, hopefully that means they'll focus more on the Sonic characters in this movie, which thankfully Sonic Movie 2 did. It's very much so a Sonic movie. All of these these movies have been Sonic movies. Thankfully, there are no like Transformers, which they're like movies that feature the Transformers. Kind of similar to those also Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movies. These have very much so been Sonic movies, which has been very greatly appreciated. If we're just looking at the past examples we have, so much of Sonic Movie 2 is just Sonic, Tails, Knuckles. So I think this also could very well mean that a lot of Sonic Movie 3 is going to be Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Shadow. There are going to be so many scenes that have just Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow in them, or all of them as a group, or going against each other, so that's going to be very exciting. They're going to be able to knock out a large portion of this movie with just those characters. Obviously, I think a big heart of this movie is going to be Sonic and Tom and their dynamic, especially with this being the end of a trilogy, where their relationship's at, where it will go, if Sonic will fully reach his maturity, which has been a very large plot point of these movies. Humans are going to play a role in this. Your main villain is a human character played by Jim Carrey. So they still have a lot of work to do when this strike is over, but as of right now, they are going to be able to knock out a lot of this movie in a very decent amount of time to have this thing at least somewhat ready to meet its December release date. Now with them being able to at least film some stuff for the movie, this gives me a lot more confidence that not only is it going to be able to meet its release date of December of 2024, which there was still that possibility, even if it was delayed by even a few months of filming. Honestly, I think this is better news for the release date of Sonic Movie 3 because there's another movie, we've been talking about this a lot, the competition that Sonic Movie 3 is going to have on its December 20th release date is also Marvel's Thunderbolts. Marvel has just been on one and not in the right way lately. Not only do I think the hype for that movie wouldn't necessarily completely be there in the way it would have been like 5 years ago. I don't think there's that much interest in it, but nonetheless, it is a Marvel movie and it's best not to go against something like that. And with that movie being filled with nothing but SAG actors and no CGI characters, they're not able to do this right now. They're not able to really get ahead of schedule by filming environments with stand-ins. Like, they can't do that. They're gonna have their production delayed. So while Sonic Movie 3's filming, they're not gonna be filming. By the time that this strike is done and they're ready to begin production, there might be a little break to get everybody adjusted and then everyone's back to work, but by that time, Sonic Movie 3 could already be maybe halfway or completely done with their shooting of the Sonic scenes with only the CGI characters. You very well could see Thunderbolts get delayed out of its date because they haven't filmed the movie yet and they won't be able to actually have a finished movie in the theaters for that date. Now I know Marvel doesn't really care about having finished products in their theaters. That was a little too heavy of a shot, wasn't it? But you get what I mean. I think the less competition that this movie has, the better. I'm pretty confident that Sonic Movie 3 is going to meet its release date. I think it's important for Paramount too. With this movie almost assuredly getting a massive marketing campaign. We already saw how big Sonic Movie 2's was, so we can only imagine with the success that Sonic Movie 2 was, that Sonic Movie 3's campaign is going to be just as large, if not bigger. They're going to want their toys to come out. You already know that that's in production and getting ready to start. They're going to want to get all their licensees in order, know what products they're going to make, what TV shows and trailers that they're going to be premiering in front of. There's a whole process to this, so I think this is nothing but good news for Sonic Movie 3. Obviously, we want the strike to end so production can go smoothly with James Marsden and all of these different SAG actors who not only deserve better pay, but also just better treatment in the Hollywood system. I think we're going to get this movie on time, and hopefully this also means that we're going to get a whole lot of Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow in this movie, and maybe some other characters who we don't know about just yet. You never know, maybe also this strike will cause them to just maybe focus even more on the CGI characters than before. You never know, the writer's strike is still going on, so it's not like they can adjust the script to be primarily Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Shadow, with only like a sprinkle of humans. That's also impossible right now with that strike, but nonetheless, I'm just rambling at this point. This is where I pass it off to you guys and ask what you think. What do you think about Sonic Movie 3 starting to film next month, but with only the Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Shadow stand-ins? Do you think that this is good news for Sonic Movie 3? Do you think this is kind of troubling because, let's say, that the movie is not really filming as planned or as a traditional movie does? Do you think this can affect the quality of the film? Let me know what's going through your head in the comment section down below. I'd love to know what you guys have to say. Feel free to follow my social media links to my Twitter and Instagram are in the description below. You can follow those things in my life if you're trying to handle things Sonic the Hedgehog, but most importantly, if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. This is the #1 notification on YouTube for all things Sonic. Whether it's video games, TV shows, movies, comic books, merchandise, and more, we talk about it all. In addition to Sonic Movie 3, we of course have the prequel series to Sonic Movie 3, Knuckles, coming out on Paramount+, Plus in only a few months, so we're surely going to be getting some first look images and trailers and posters soon and a bunch of other stuff in relation to the show. I'm incredibly excited for that, but not just that, Sonic Superstars is coming out. Don't forget about that in case you have. We're already kind of at the tail end of 2023, which is kind of crazy, and 2024 is assuredly going to be a massive year for Sonic with Sonic Movie 3 coming out. And like this video warned you, Sonic Movie 3 is filming next month. We are surely getting set photos, videos, and of course once when those drop, I'll be the first here to cover it with all of you guys. We could very well be getting our first looks at Shadow, or at least Shadow's stand-in. This is going to be a very exciting time to be a Sonic fan at the end of this year. I love all you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Wonder what you want right now, wonder what you want right now.